I think these are even better than my viral lentil crackers. I might even like these more. They're kind of more like a traditional cracker. Gluten-free, oil-free, delicious. We're gonna make another high protein, high fiber cracker. And then we're gonna make a dip. This is like kind of rivals guacamole, dare I say. First, we're gonna make a red lentil flour. We're gonna start with a cup of dry red lentils. Red lentils are super high in fiber and nutrients, protein, and so these are going to be a great base for the crackers. We're not soaking these, we're just going to drain and rinse them until the water runs clear. That helps with digestion. Parchment paper. If you just crinkle up the edges, it'll lay flat as well. Just going to go ahead and get these here on the tray. Just spread them out, and we're going to dry these in the oven, 225 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 10 to 15 minutes, or just until they're dry. And then we'll be able to make this into a flour. And while that's in there, let's get together all the other ingredients. This is the quadfecta of spices we're working with today. We're going to use a little coriander. We have onion powder, garlic powder, and a little cumin. And of course, we have a little bit of salt, also some sesame seeds. That's going to be for the top. A little lemon for brightness. Instead of oil, we're going to use tahini as a little bit of fat that's going to help them get crispy without getting too hard. Get a bowl to mix everything in. The red lentils are almost fully dry, so I'm going to take them out and we'll get started making the red lentil flour. Could use spice grinder or high power blender, or in my case, I'm just using an average blender. This is my NutriBullet, which is nice for small batch things. And let's see how they are doing. Let the lentils cool off a little bit, and then you can put it in your blender or spice grinder and grind it up into flour. We're just going to combine everything into the bowl. Get all the flour out that you can. Garlic powder, do about a half a teaspoon. Onion powder, let's do half a teaspoon. Cumin, I'm only going to do a quarter of a teaspoon. I just don't want it to be too overpowering. And then we're going to go in with some coriander, a half a teaspoon. Half teaspoon salt. You can adjust to your taste. Little baking powder. Here we're going in with 1/8 of a teaspoon. Very little bit. Whisk this so everything will combine nicely. Smells good. Smells really good. Now we're going to add some tahini. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Closer to 1.5 actually. And now you're just gonna combine this. Just break up the pieces of tahini. It's gonna be a little crumbly. So it's like crumbly. You could even get your hands in there a little bit. And then we're gonna add some fresh squeezed lemon juice, 1 tablespoon. Mix. And then add some water in here. Add the water 1 tablespoon at a time. Then mix to combine. It will start out crumbly and then it will come together. Be patient, mixing in between. I found this flexible spatula to do a really good job. I ended up using about 6 tablespoons of water, but again, go slow. You can use less if that's all you need. Keep doing this until you reach a dough consistency that's soft, not sticky, and holds together nicely. At some point, you're going to want to get your hands in there to form it into a cohesive dough. It should resemble Play-Doh if that's a reference that makes sense to you. This is actually kind of the consistency of the inside of the Reese's peanut butter cups that I made here on the channel. Oh my gosh, now I want one. They're so good. Speaking of Reese's, let me know if you're looking for sweet or savory healthy treats next. Pinch off a teaspoon or 2 and roll into balls. You can make them whatever size you want, and I like them smaller, kind of like Ritz cracker small, or even a little bit smaller. I'm just going to use the same tray I used to dry the lentils and smash them down with the bottom of a glass or cup, placing a little parchment between the glass and the dough helps to keep it from sticking. Sprinkle the sesame seeds on top and press them into the dough so they'll stick on to the crackers. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 to 16 minutes. Check at 10 minutes, and if you need to cook longer, you can flip them over and cook some more. The bake time will vary depending on how big the crackers are and how thick or thin you make them. I like to press my crackers out a lot so that they're really thin. That way they'll cook faster and they'll be very crispy. These are going to be so good with hummus and the edamame avocado dip we're going to make next. Now we're going to make the edamame avocado dip. I've got a cup of edamame. These are immature soybeans. If you watch Love is Blind, they're out of the pods. If you get them in the pods, you can just pop them out. You can buy these frozen and then just thaw them and they'll be ready to go. Soybeans are actually shown to be heart healthy as well. This is a perfectly ripe avocado. And then I've got some lime. I'm probably going to use 1 or 2 of these, depending on how much juice I can get out of it. Fresh spinach is fine if you're not a fan of fresh cilantro, but I'm going to use the fresh cilantro. And then I've got some garlic. Grab your food processor. Grab a clove here. Okay, that's an awfully big clove. I don't know that I want this entire clove in there. This might be too big for the entire one. I'm gonna just cut a little bit of it off and see. Maybe I'll do that much. Pull these out. Helps to juice them. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. I love fresh citrus. Oh my gosh, this smells amazing. Garlic, citrus, like cilantro. It's all starting to smell really delicious. 1 small clove or half a large clove of garlic. And then we're going to do a tablespoon or 2 of fresh squeezed lime juice. I like a lot of citrus, so I'm going to do a little extra. Fresh cilantro. This is a 1/4 cup packed going in. I'm going to leave the avocado out and pulse this to get it to break down a little bit. First, pulse a few times, then let her rip. Stop and scrape down the sides. Then continue to process a little bit more. I might do a little bit more lime. You could do water if you don't like it too much lime. I'm going to leave the avocado out first and pulse this to get it to break down a little bit. I might do a little bit more lime. You could do water if you don't like much lime. I forgot to add the salt, so I'm going in with about a half a teaspoon of salt, but you can adjust this to your preference. Let's go one more time. Okay. Oh my gosh, that smells like heaven. It's that cilantro in there. Do the whole half of one here. I think that might be enough. In fact, I might even do half of a half. That might be enough because this is a pretty big avocado. How this goes. Let's let her rip. Depending on if you want this more of a spread or a dip, you can adjust the amount of water or lime that you're using. I'm going to go in with a little bit of water. I'm just going to do a tablespoon and see how that goes. Looks really nice. I do find adding fresh lemon or lime does help reduce the amount of salt, you might try that if you're looking to minimize salt in your diet. I ended up adding a little bit more lime juice just because. You know what actually might be good in this is some chickpeas. Make it kind of, give it a little more body. Actually, that would be really good. It would be like kind of a hybrid with hummus. Edamame. It's kind of got a texture to it. It's not super smooth, but I don't mind it. I do think it needs a little more salt. So that's a half teaspoon is what it is. You have that person who comes over for the holidays and just doesn't want to leave. Just like serve some crackers like these with all that fiber, you know, you might get rid of them sooner. Anyway, let's try it. Oh my gosh, I want to eat all of this. They're nice and crispy too, by the way. And they're not like super crunchy, not like the ones we made a couple weeks ago, but they have a nice snap to them. Definitely more like a cracker. If you make them thinner, they'll be obviously crispier. Some of my friends came over earlier today and I had them try these and they absolutely loved them. They said they were a perfect texture and the flavor was just perfect. So good. Not too much cumin, just the right amount. This is a pretty thick spread and you can just scoop it right out. Feel free to serve this at your next gathering. Don't tell them there are lentils in there. See if they can guess. I want you to try these. They're so yummy. They're so good. Like literally dropping everything everywhere. Whoops. Okay. You're not going to miss the oil or the whoops. Okay. This light keeps going off. We tried.